Shares in Meta Platforms were down in the dumps outside of regular trading hours, and already some investors are talking about buying the big dip. Meta ticker FB stock fell almost 23% in after-hours trading Wednesday and was almost 20% in the red in Thursday's pre-market. If it finishes more than 18.96% lower in Thursday's regular hours trading, it will be the worst one-day plunge for the stock in the company's history. PayPal stock was in free fall as investors, and Wall Street reassessed the payments company after it issued a particularly disappointing outlook for 2022. PayPal ticker PYPL reported a fourth quarter profit of $1.11 a share Tuesday, narrowly missing forecasts of $1.12 a share. Sales of $6.92 billion topped estimates for $6.89 billion. Economist Wade Pho's views on funding retirement, subject of, spurred a lot of comments from readers, including those who believed Pho erred by not touting the virtues of stocks or real estate investment trusts that have histories of paying high dividends. Pho is dubious. Owning stocks that pay a high dividend doesn't provide the same secure retirement income as owning safe bonds, because dividends can be cut, he says. Many Americans suffer from housing affordability problems. Analysts often cite rigid credit terms and high home prices as the cause of these problems. Mortgage rates and prices affect affordability at the margin, but the dominant force driving housing affordability problems remains the presence of too many households with very low income. Ken Shinoda concludes correctly in a Barron's commentary that affordability problems for homebuyers are a long way from the averages of the 1980s and 1990s, with typical housing costs at about 28% of income. If the Federal Reserve hikes rates, housing affordability will be worse for some, but this shift will not affect the broad population that suffers from an inability to afford housing without spending too high a percent of income on housing. Monetary policy does not have the capacity to remedy the housing affordability problems that tech investors have been taken on a wild ride, and strategists at UBS suggest they should keep their seatbelts fastened despite a moment of relative calm late last week. The Nasdaq Composite, a proxy for the U.S. tech sector, is down more than 13% so far this year, putting it firmly in correction territory. The fact that the benchmark index, remember the forgotten 40? It's time to look at them again. The early 2022 market has been punishing for most investors, regardless of their approach. Most sectors and styles are down year to date. But with the Federal Reserve set to begin tightening monetary policy and economic growth projected to remain strong, there are good arguments in favor of leadership by value and cyclically oriented companies. The meteoric rise of fund company ARK Invest and its outspoken founder Cathie Wood was the biggest success story of 2020. Last year, however, was a very different story. ARK Innovation ticker ARKK, the firm's flagship fund, peaked in February 2021. As we near that anniversary, the fund is down 52% from the peak. This is bad news for recent investors in the fund, but there are lessons here for everyone. What the heck just happened to Tesla stock? Its shares got hammered this past week after the company reported better than expected fourth quarter earnings Wednesday evening. The reaction to record profits and an earnings beat left investors as well as analysts dazed and confused. Yes, the numbers were really that good. Tesla ticker TSLA